whether you elect Bennett or elect someone for the far right or elect Netanyahu, the Likud party, or even go a little bit left.
Okay, that's cool, but like, even if what you're saying is true, that's not fascism, right? Even if I could elect between 5 people and all 5 are genocidal, that just means you've got 5 genocidal
so you're
leaders.
saying because they have democratic elections that they're not fascist.
That's a pretty big part of fascism is the
But you understand fascism is an ideology, right? It's not a regime.
Wait a second. There's a Jew by the name of Oral Kolnai, and I'll spell it for you. Aurrel.
You don't need to spell it for me. I don't care. Just tell me what he says. Yeah.
Okay. What he actually argues is that there are 3 types of fascist regime.
Go on.
Obviously.
Sorry, but you're cutting off. Go ahead.
Number 3, he said, the number 3, basically, fascist regime, he said, is liberal democracy or progressive democracy. And he says it's the most dangerous type of fascism.
Okay, but now in the future,
look at his paper called The 3 Riders of Apocalypse.
That's okay. I'm never reading a paper by somebody that calls a liberal democracy fascist. But if you're going to say that a liberal democracy is fascist in the future,
he's a Jew. He's a Hungarian Jew.
Can I just finish a sentence?
Yeah, finish it. Go.
Yeah.
Guys, let's not cut each other off. Let Destiny speak, and then Zeus, you can respond.
Yeah, in the future, if you're going to say they're fascist, and your definition of fascism includes liberal democracy, which is contradictory to almost every single person on the planet's understanding of what fascism means, just say that. Just say, hold on,
guys. Please. No, here's the thing, okay, Destiny. Fascism is an ideology, okay? It's not necessarily a form of government. Fascism is a political ideology. It's not a form of government.
Well, it's an ideology. It's an ideology.
I don't understand.
What are we arguing? Are we arguing which government is better? The fascist Israeli government?
No,
or
we're trying to
horrible Hamas government. Like, what are you arguing between?
Why the Israeli government is considered a fascist government to them? Why?
Well, okay.
We're trying to figure out.
Would you agree with me that it's a totalitarian government?
Right now.
Would you agree that it's?
How about instead of getting into these autistic arguments over the style of government, why not just criticize the actions of the government directly? For instance, if we're mad about settlements in the West Bank, why don't we say like settlements in the West Bank should be withdrawn? If we're mad about the blockade in Gaza, why not just say that the blockade in Gaza should end? Why do this weird debate over are they fascist or not? It's so stupid.
They are.
Because what we're trying to say is not that the settlement should end or that the West Bank or whatever or what's going on. We want Israel to end.
Yeah, you don't want Israel anymore. You want Israel destroyed. That's your position. Yeah, that is your position.
Okay, whoever that is spewing that racist rhetoric, please get out of here. Okay, nobody wants the end of Israel. That's not what we're talking about. Please f off. Thank you. I don't know where you got your news from. Have you read? Hold on. Have you read the most recent 2017 Hamas charter or no? The
I don't read anything.
Okay, so then shut the fuck up. Jesus Christ.
What is the inherent need to call the Israeli government fascist though? It's just under no.
I'm just basing it on the definition. I'm basing it on the definition of fascism. It's just
terminology. No, you're not. You're using an esoteric definition by some writer that nobody's heard of, in a paper that nobody's read and nobody cares about.
Because clearly, no matter what the state of Israel does, it seems like there's no way of holding them accountable.
That's not
what.
Go look up. Hold on. Go look up.
There are liberal democracies. Hold on. The United States is a liberal democracy, and guess what? It's really hard to hold the United States accountable. That doesn't make the United States fascist. Just say it's hard to hold them accountable.
It makes them totalitarian.
No, it doesn't. Totalitarian implies single-party rule. What do you mean totalitarian?
Yeah, they're not totalitarian.
Or top-down control of every single thing in the country. There are literally watchdog groups that exist and operate in Israel. Like a totalitarian country wouldn't allow that. It doesn't make any sense.
It actually does, because according to its dominant signature, its characteristic edge, the mechanism of its march and appetite of its idols, progressive democracy is a totalitarian.
Okay,
seeing that it has seared the rest. But look, the thing is that materially, you there? Wait a second. The thing is that materially it contains and shelters, as it has devalued and impoverished, yes, so far guarded against utter peril and extinction, the traditions of civilization and fragments of liberty, basically the shreds of morality and cells of Christian tissue. which is,
Bro, it
it's
sounds to me like
violent
you're reading
and
like
all.
a codec call from Metal Gear Solid 4. What are we talking about? I don't even know what the fuck we're talking about right now.
I'm trying to explain to you, if you could let me, why it's a totalitarian system. Didn't you ask that question?
No, hold on, no. I would never ask you that question because it sounds like you're just quoting shit off of papers that nobody's read or cares about. Like, fascism is pretty well understood to be some form of like ultranationalist, authoritarian, totalitarian regime where you've got a vertical control over every aspect of the state and where you've got a single party rule. This idea that like liberal democracy can be fascist, you're using some definition no one cares about. And not only does nobody care about it, you're not even like making good criticism of Israel. There's good criticisms being made. The fact that it's a liberal democracy is not one of them. It's like the dumbest point to argue. Why would you even waste time on this?
No, okay, so here's the thing, right? Yes, they are technically a democracy. That's their form of government. But when I'm referring to fascism, I'm referring to the ideology of fascism. That's what I'm referring to. Right? Everything they do, their actions are conformed. Their actions are conformed with other fascist governments that have existed before, including Mussolini and Hitler.
Okay,
yeah, everybody's had fascists. In Nazi Germany, they had public services too. Like, who the fuck cares? Just criticize the actions. Why are you so obsessed with drawing the parallels? It makes it feel like you don't have an actual argument.
No, that's what we were initially. I was initially calling it a fascist state, and someone said it's not a fascist state, and that's why everything devolved.
Yeah, and now you guys have wasted 20 minutes arguing whether they're a fascist state or not, instead of arguing whether or not the settlements in the West Bank are justified, or arguing whether or not the retribution of the Gaza Strip is justified. You're sitting here arguing over fucking whether it's a fascist state. Who cares?
How about a criminal state?
The whole thing is an apartheid regime, right? The whole thing needs to be dismantled.
Well, that's something that we can disagree on because I don't really think it fits the bill of apartheid. Like, you might be getting close to it. Maybe we need to come up with like another word.
Bro, I don't know what planet you live on. It does not fit the bill of apartheid. Like, seriously, bro.
No, well, I mean, I don't think that there are like laws being written into.
Wait, hold on. Okay, just so you know, like almost every NGO and every mainstream nonprofit agrees that Israel is an apartheid regime, including Amnesty International. So I don't think we have to argue about that. I think anyone with a base level of knowledge about what's happening there and has been happening there, especially the past 17 years with the blockade on Gaza, it's very easy to just let's not argue about that because you're just wrong.
Okay, well, hang on. Maybe we just have different working definitions.
But why was there a blockade of Gaza?
Brother Sharif.
Sorry, I accidentally muted everybody. It's my bad. Unmute yourselves.
Okay.
Don't expect Israeli apologists to agree with that. To agree with Amnesty International and other organizations that call Israel like criminal apartheid state.
The vast majority of NGOs and the nonprofits all agree that Israel is an apartheid regime. So you can go and argue with them if you want.
All right, let's hear some Israeli apologists.
Today in 2023 would be accepting an apartheid regime as a legitimate country, which we cannot accept because it's 2023. Come on, guys.
Okay, how do you solve the apartheid?
How do you solve it? I can answer that. I can answer that. Get rid of the blockade in Gaza. Get the 600,000 illegal settlers from the West Bank out of there. Stop doing nightly check-ins where you go in and you disrupt the family and beat up the father and tie him up. Stop all the human rights atrocities that are happening to the people in Gaza and the West Bank. Give them civil rights. Give them autonomy. Give them their own borders. Let's go back to the 1967 borders delegated by the UN. That's where we start. We end the occupation. We start treating them like human beings, and we stop occupying them. That's the real solution. That's what the UN voted for several times.
Okay, cool. So you're in favor. You said you're in favor of a two-state solution, then?
I think I have a better solution, but the most
wait, hold on. I heard 67 borders. Doesn't that mean two-state solution?
Actually, a two-state solution with an armed Palestinian state that could work, but they have to be as armed as Israel is.
Why don't we go back to the 67 borders when Jordan owned the West Bank and Egypt owned the Gaza Strip? Are those the ones you want to go back to, or?
How about I'm talking about the ones where Palestine has autonomy and has sovereignty, not Jordan and Egypt. We can actually go back to the Wait, hold on. Why don't we go back to the 1947 borders delegated by UN?
Well, we would have, but the Arabs voted that down. Remember, the Palestinians said they didn't like that.
No, it was actually the Zionists. No, it was actually the Zionists. That's why they did the first Nakba, if you remember.
Are you sure they didn't do the first Nakba because all the Arabs voted it down and then all of them invaded and tried to steal Palestinian land from them? Like they claimed that Israel could do?
That was after they had invaded and destroyed 220 villages in Palestine.
Oh, really? Wait, yes. Jesus, can you tell me why didn't why did Jordan capture the West Bank? Why didn't give the Palestinians a state? Why did Egypt capture the Gaza Strip? Why didn't they give the Palestinians a state? They held that land for 20 years.
Wait, hold on. They literally did after they took occupation of those areas. They literally gave it back. What are you talking about?
Hold on. No, they didn't. Excuse me? Jordan extended from the lands of Jordan